Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 106. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
Good. It's been a week. Very busy,
Yeah.
awful week for work. But
Ah.
Flesh and Blood pre-release was this weekend, and that was a ton of fun. I was only able to make it to one. Went to two. We'll talk about that in a bit. Had a lot of fun. Pulled a legendary. And the other thing I did, hobby related, was sort a bunch of bulk. So I sorted a bunch of Magic cards. I sorted a bunch of Pokemon cards, all pretty cheap cards, just that were loose in boxes. And my OCD was like, these cards should be sorted. You haven't sorted cards in a while. You have that itch. So I did. And that was a ton of fun. But I also was starting to mess around with TCG Player's collection tracker, which is in beta right now. If you go under your account, you can click your collection. You can input cards and it'll give you a low, mid, and high price for your collection and individual cards, and you can keep track of what you have across multiple games. It's super cool. The high is complete baloney. Don't even look at that because it pulls in prices from TCG Player, and Pokemon bulk is silly, and there are random Pokemon bulk that are going for $9,999, and it's a penny card. And so the high
That's
pulls
a realistic price, Tommy. You never know when those cards will disappear, and that last one will be there.
True, it will. It will. That I may set up a store and just do that. No, that'd be awful. So I disregard the high price, and we'll get into this more later. But I have found it very relaxing and enjoyable, and gives me a reason to sort cards. And I think it would be a really cool thing to be like, hey, do I have this card? I have no idea if I have this card, but then I can just basically search in there and see if I have that card and how many.
I've been doing a lot of that.
Yeah. In your collection or just the store?
I mean, it's all the store now.
Yeah. So yeah, we can.
Story's life.
I do want to hear more about how that's been going, and I'm sure that will tie into my bulk.
Oh, absolutely. As well. I'm actually curious what you discovered, because this will be an interesting conversation. I'm constantly seeking info from different perspectives on, especially bulk. Yeah. Bulk is the weirdest part of this, I think. Yeah. I went to a Magic Day yesterday. It was fun. Yeah, that's where I was. I also bought a collection there, not mostly bulk, but old bulk, mid-old, I would say, like maybe early 2000s time frame. I'm not 100% sure when these sets actually are. But yeah, it was fun. Good chunk of stuff.
What'd you play?
Some of the I played my Sky Noodle.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was fun. I Sky Noodled the place. I won. But to be fair, I did play against like an 8-year-old, literally.
Oh, well. Okay.
It was my friend's kid. His, now, to be fair,
that's no normal 8-year-old Magic player.
He is not. He's smart. He knows words that I didn't know when I was like, I don't know, probably in high school. Like, he's smart. This kid is really sharp, and he's been playing Magic as long as he could read. I think he learned to read to play Magic in games like that. He's actually very good, and it's a deck his dad built him, and his dad is the king of min-maxing and made a quite powerful deck. The other person I was playing against is approximately our age, is somewhere between us, probably, I think, in age. And he just built his second kind of commander deck and was feeling very outclassed by the 8-year-old.
Oh,
I think he's actually 10. I don't know.
Yeah,
they grow up
I
so
think
fast.
I think so. I think when I met him, he was around 7 or 8.
Yeah, which
so it has to be.
Yeah. They keep aging. Like,
right,
I don't understand
it doesn't
that.
stop. Like, every day they're a day older.
Exactly. The next year they're a year older. It's very hard to keep track of.
I know. But another one of my friends had their second boy this weekend, and I was like, how? What?
How's that possible?
Second? Okay. All right. Life is moving along.
It does. But yeah, it was a whole bunch of people. It wasn't just 8-year-olds. It was just like he was the one kid there. There's about a dozen adults all playing Magic. Some friends I haven't seen in years showed up. which was awesome. I guess they do this every once in a while. I never really cared because I wasn't really paying attention to Magic.
Right.
But as I started to buy bulk from this buddy of mine, he's like, "We're having a Magic weekend next week, and you should come." And I was like, "Well, can I take some more bulk when I come?" And he's like, "Yeah, do that and play some games and whatever." So I brought a bunch of stuff. We talked about doing draft. No one ended up wanting to do it because everyone had their, their pet decks they wanted to try. It's with that many people, there's so many games to play. Like even if everyone just brought one deck, just switching out who you're playing against, there's a lot of games to play.
Sure. And in Commander, you don't pull the same cards every game.
Exactly. We had 3 games going simultaneously at any given time.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. It was good to see some people I hadn't seen in a long time. So it was good stuff. And I got a lead on even more bulk, but I have to go to Georgia to get it.
Oh boy.
Which I will probably do, depending on how much he's willing to let go of. But apparently, he has stuff from all the eras in the massive boxes. You know what I'm talking? The BCW like 5-column.
Yeah, the ones I store my Flesh and Blood bulk.
What do you store in? What?
The BCW white.
Yeah, with the 5 column. Yeah. How much does that store? How many is in that?
Oh.
Is it 5,000? I
think so.
Okay, because he has shelves of them. And he's like, yeah, all this stuff I don't care about. I'm like, that's a lot of stuff. Like, that's a lot of stuff. So anyways, I'm probably going to work out a deal with him. And
each row is about 1,000. So it's 5,000.
Okay, it's about 5,000 in a box. Yeah. So yeah, he's probably got 50,000 cards.
Oh,
it's got to be at least. Yeah.
See,
that he wants to get rid of. He's got full playset binders of every set for like ever.
Yeah.
And then he has all that as extra. That's just sitting there. And he's like, I don't really care. It's just trash. He's like, I never want to move with it again.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm like, I get that. And so I was like, I'll fly down. And then I was like, and then I'll rent a car and drive back because I'm not putting that on a suitcase. They'll charge me for like 10 suitcases to put Magic on there.
Yeah.
So anyways.
And they'll be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What is this? What are you carrying back with you? Why are your suitcases weigh like bricks?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't think about it, but it's like comic books. When you add a lot of them together, they get real heavy.
Cards are heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I switched because originally when I was first getting back into the hobby, I was buying the plastic BCW 4,000 card holders. And that's where I put my fancy stuff, which is nice to have. But for bulk and stuff, they're heavy. Yeah. They're heavy. They're heavier than... It's weird because the plastic isn't that much heavier than the cardboard, but for some reason when it's full, it has the same amount of cards, but it's way heavier in the plastic.
Huh. Weird.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
But
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into all of this throughout the podcast. It might be a long one, but that's okay. Buckle up, grab a snack, grab a drink, caffeine or alcohol, depending on what time you're listening to this, to make it all the way through. And if you like what we've been talking about, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And feel free to ask us any questions about any of the things that you have that we've talked about.
Yeah.
But first, I want to get into Heavy Hitters episode and my pre-release. So, played on Friday, couldn't make it to Saturdays. Forced Kasai. Told myself I wasn't going to because I watched a couple videos, and they were basically just like, Kasai is really bad and limited because Go Again is a thing. And then I was like, oh yeah, I guess, sure, that makes sense. You don't have the hit and runs, you don't have the Blade Runners, you don't have the things in Classic Constructed that are going to make her really pop off and go crazy. And I am so hyped. Looked at some of the prices of the Kasai build. I might wait about a month before I buy singles.
Yeah. There's no need to buy it right away. No. It's not like you're going to a tournament.
No, exactly. So I'm going to stay on Dorinthia for this month probably. See where it shapes up. But there are some cards in there that are gas. And also the person that, I won't call them out, but the person that I was watching those videos of, BOLOGNA. Agility tokens are a thing that are very easy to get in limited. There's your Go Again.
They didn't understand that or something?
There's just a way to utilize, like at the beginning of the game, you have the boots that can give you the Brute Warrior that can create an agility token turn 1. You have cards that, the format's going to be really interesting. and I'm very excited for draft just because sealed has never really been great.
Yeah, sealed's always kind of meh.
It's
They
always kind of
they've
janky.
gotten better, but it's always been a little jank. Yeah,
Right. Like I feel like I didn't have much choice in what cards I played
yeah.
because just playable cards for warrior, even between warrior brute, warrior guardian, and regular warrior, I was only at maybe third, no, like 20, no, yeah, maybe about mid 20s, and you need a minimum of 30. And I think the correct answer of cards in this format's like 34, 35, because you don't want just 30, but it is a much faster, so you don't want to dilute it too much. You don't want to do 40,
Hmm.
for sealed at least. Like in bright lights, you wanted to do 40, but also every card was playable. So you just have a much smaller pool to pick from, and I think in draft you'll be able to put together a much better deck. Hopefully, unless everyone's going warrior.
Well, yeah, there's always the dynamic
Sure,
of a
of
draft
Yeah,
setting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Couple spotlight cards. Draw swords, hell of a card. Trying to see, it may be a 9 of in Kasai. Probably, or maybe a 6 of. 2 of each
Does it
color.
does it feel like she's got multiple? I was about to say multiple personalities. That's not the right word. Multiple archetypes.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So for the one you're doing, draw swords is key, but maybe someone does a different way, or is it just that good?
I think it's multiple archetypes, but you can basically, what's going to be really cool is you can do it through sideboarding. You can switch. So depending on what hero you're at, you can decide to go wide. You can decide to go defensive. You can decide to go aggressive, um, by switching in go agains, or like you have run through. You have Blade Runner. You have Glint. You have all these go again reactions where you're not dependent on blocking like Dorinthia. And basically, you just have to draw a card, and then your both of your sword attacks are free. And then you have a lot of ways to pay 1 or pay 0 to give that sword attack go again. So basically, you just have to draw. So you can play cards like Gorgarian Tome, um, and I could see you doing um, like the boots that give you an agility token, or some turn that you start with an agility token into a Tome of Faendale. Like there are lots of ways that you can just draw cards off these agility token go again, essentially,
Mhm.
and then uh, and that would be the more aggressive because you would need more cards and you wouldn't be blocking as much. But then you're coming in with 2 sword attacks for free, leaving you with all of your resources for attack reaction shenanigans.
That does explain why my tomes suddenly sold
Yep.
over the last week.
And that's also why Balance of Judgment came out.
What is that?
That's the new legendary. I think that's what it's called. Balance of Justice.
Justice. Okay.
So it's the new generic helm. Instant destroy this, draw a card, activate this ability only if an opponent has drawn 2 or more cards this turn.
Got it.
And then it has Guardwell 2. When this combat chain closes, if this defended, put a -1 counter on it equal to its defense. So it basically, it doesn't break, but it just can only block once, is how I read it. Blocks once for 2.
Yeah, I don't know the rules.
But essentially, it allows, at instant speed, allows you to draw a card when your opponent drew 2.
Yeah.
Which, like Dromai and the Dromai Tome, is a
Mhm.
draw 2.
Mhm.
So that's probably going to be a sideboard card for most decks. Kind of like, oh, you're going to have a bunch of sideboard legendaries now. Because you have that other one for Prism, the Prevent one, the Arms.
Might be tough to be prepared, but I'm sure the meta will settle into like this is what you're gonna see.
Yeah, yeah. But
How many heroes are now active within CC?
A lot.
I know. I couldn't remember the number. Someone said something like 37, but that sounds wrong.
Yeah.
But it's probably like 27.
Probably.
That's okay. We don't. I was just curious if you knew off the top of your head.
No.
It's a lot. That means the meta, no matter how settled it is, will always have that wild card opportunity.
We have 25.
Okay. There you go.
Including we have 33.
Oh,
Including Living Legend.
Oh, no, not. I said active in CC.
Active is 25.
25, and that's the new heroes too. The new 6.
Yep.
Okay.
Arachne, Azalea,
5.
Betsy, Bravo, Dash, Io, Dash, Inventor, Dorinthia, Dromai, Phi, Kano, Kasai, Katsu, Ko, Levia, Max, Olympia, Prism, Rhinar, Riptide, Sir Bolton, Teklevasan, Zuri, Victor, Viserai, and Vincent.
Gross.
Young heroes, we have 40.
Yeah, but that's always going to be the case because they kind of play experimental over there.
Yeah.
25. That's nuts. Yep. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Bravo, I think, is still going to be dominant. I think Kasai is going to be up there. Prism, Dromai, Dash.
No, the new heroes besides Kasai?
I think Betsy's just going to be... Betsy will come up and be more prevalent when Bravo LLs. Victor, I don't think so. Olympia, I don't think so.
Yeah, Olympia, they said it wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, but could be soon. KO and... I mean, Rhinar might be a thing. I don't know if you consider him a new... But like...
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Does he count?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough about Brood to talk about it.
Yeah, I know I was listening to Arsenal Pass, and they've been Brute fans for a long time.
Yeah.
And they called it a while ago with just the early reveals before it was fully revealed. So they did say, caveat this with, we actually don't know all the cards yet.
Right.
But they explicitly were like, so we're going to make the hot take Reinar's tier 1, like, or tier 0 or whatever.
Yeah, I could see it.
But again, that was early. That was with just previews of Beat Chest and that stuff. So they were getting hyped on that. So who knows? Like, I don't know where
he's always been on the brink of it, like just on the outside. Like you never want to see him against you.
So their point was he's good in that he can take cards from the opponent. He's bad in that they don't care if they don't want to block. So his hard counter is things like 5 that just go burr, right? Taking cards out of their hand to block is not a big deal because they weren't going to block anyways.
Correct.
And so you're really actually saving them some cards because you can't get them once you exile them, right?
But your disruption.
A lot of the new stuff is May, right? Isn't it, or is it not for that?
What?
I don't know.
The wagers are May.
Well, and I think Beat Chest was like you may discard a 6, which would be for Rhinar, would also intimidate. So you have the option of intimidating, which may give the flexibility there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's how it is with this. But the question is it enough of a card pool? Was there enough of these cards to get him over the top? And they didn't know at the time, obviously, but they were taking the hot take. But again, fanboys.
Yeah,
how it goes.
Yeah. And I am a Kasai fanboy,
of course.
But yeah, I think there's going to be something there. I don't know if Rise of the Army is going to be like the thing. I think it's just going to be she's going to be a very solid tempo deck, and if you can't keep up, like she's going to leak damage every turn. Yeah,
she's a go burr. It's not setup. Setup is a trap.
Right, because the difference with, and I don't think, the thing is people are going to have to relearn to play against Warrior because people have learned to play against Dory. People have played against Kasai and Blitz, but I think it's going to catch people by surprise. And then I think the longer she's in the format, the weaker she gets. Because people will learn how to play around her.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Huh.
But what I think is going to happen is Kasai players are just going to have to be smart. Because what I've noted, I've been looking at a couple lists just to see what other people are doing because I have an idea in my head, but I just wanted to see what other people were thinking. And a lot of them play one-ofs of a lot of attack reactions. So like Spill Blood and Steel Blade and I mean the key ones like Singing Steel Blade and stuff like that you keep all, or like Red Overpower, like there's just one-ofs so that when they're, because what people do is they look through your discard to see if you've played 3 of them to see how they block, but you don't have 3, so they have to play around it even though you don't have it and you have something else.
Tricky.
And also, you don't have to rely on the on hit for a second because you have Blade Runner, Run Through, Glint, all these things to give go again to your weapon after the fact.
Right.
So basically, and then you still have, I think you still play Blood on Her Hands. I think Blood on Her Hands, which I'm really glad I picked up a 3rd rainbow foil because that has gone up. I bought 3 when I bought my rainbow foil Blood on Her Hands, just in hopes that one day she would become adult. And here we are. But I think that's honestly between, because then it makes Spoils of War just such a terrifying must block card still. Because it's like, oh no, you just care about gold. No, you don't. Because the gold is good for like drawing a card. But to trigger your swords being free. But I think just getting copper, and because then you also get it for cash in, which then you drew cards, so your swords are free. So
that makes sense. Yeah,
there's just a lot of drawing cards in Kasai, and a warrior with extra cards every turn and extra resources just seems really good.
Does this generic helmet act as a sideboard against Kasai too?
Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I might play it in the mirror. But I mean, it's also because Blood on Her Hands blocks 3. Because it's also, so like you play 3 of them, but
and other non-Kasai players will play it against you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so funny that you took it back to you're like, and I will play it against the mirror. It's like, no. I wasn't talking about the mirror. I was talking about other people.
No, I agreed with you, and then
no, I know. It's just funny. You're like, but Kasai.
That's all that matters. It's all that matters.
That's right. Unless it's Dory.
Unless it's Dory. She also matters. Until the Kasai prices come
down.
Kasai, yeah, because those marbles are sitting pretty high right now, and I don't think they'll stay there.
Yeah, I'm curious how the Marvel's doing this set. I'm really, I'm cautiously optimistic about their changes.
I think they will do way better than
in that last set. Yes. God, that was so bad. I complained about that so much.
People care about their heroes. People like shiny
Marvels
heroes.
Are important. They should.
These Marvels are important.
Yeah. They should be treated that way. And when they don't, it's sad. But yeah, it's okay. They're allowed to mess up every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying new things. That whole new set, that whole thing was an experiment, I think. Bright Lights.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, they made that. I think they made that clear. I hope it was clear to people.
Yeah. Dang, because just the regular Kasai Majestic is going for $25 pre-release.
Yeah, I mean, Kasai's super popular, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be fighting a very steep market.
Yeah.
She's one of the most popular heroes, I'd say, because of the number of places that played Blitz.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And she was so good in Blitz, or so consistent in Blitz for so long.
And that's what I think she'll be in CC. She'll be consistent. She won't be, I don't think she'll be top because she has her counters. But the other cool thing is we did get a couple more poppers, so it'll be interesting to see how the game play against Prism goes now. Because there are some really good ones that like they can be poppers or destroy at instant speed, create an agility token.
Both
and
things are useful for
both
you.
things are useful. And going
Yeah.
first, it happened in two of my games. The two games I won, or no, one of my wins at pre-release was a buy. So the game that I won, I started with the instant destroy this turn one, going first, and then just basically having an agility token for the next turn. So I presented 7 damage to pull 3 cards out of hand, and then started
Set
with
up for
agility
next
token
turn.
to set up for next turn. But I guess I can talk about the actual gameplay for a little bit. It seemed, even though that happened, it seemed very favored to the person who goes second. Because it's a lot of big attacks with a lot of on hits that can really snowball tempo. And if you get behind in tempo, you're not coming back.
Right. Because that's what we were talking about before when we were first seeing the cards. I was like, these are tempo players. Like,
yeah.
I think it was maybe Victor was the one I was saying that about specifically, but it's clear like the whole thing is like each little piece of progress is setting up for a bigger next turn, which sets up for a bigger next turn. And like, if you can shut that down or switch the tempo, then you take the lead, but it will get away from you like a train real fast.
Yeah. I'm trying to find, there's this other card as well.
Where did you see? Did you look at TCG Player for the Marvels? Because I'm not seeing any of them.
I don't see them. I just saw the
they're not listed, right?
No, they're not.
Super annoying.
They are listed. I think they're just out of stock.
No, I don't. I have it set so I see out of stock too, and there's just like the Marvel. If you go heavy hitters, the rarity Marvel isn't in the filters.
Of course, it's not.
Yeah, so it's like messed up on TCG Player right now. Really frustrating. It's gonna make. Well, it's pre-sale. Give it time. It's fine. It's pre-sale. We're still early.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah, my frustration was getting a little ahead of itself there. I forgot that we haven't actually hit release yet.
Yeah, let me grab my, because there wasn't my I got my pre-release deck here. I also got a reel in the expansion slot, which was kind of cool, even though I don't play Ranger. But down but not out is a hell of a card. It allowed me to set up for an 18 damage turn.
Wow.
So when this attacks, if you have less attack and control fewer equipment and tokens than them, this gets +3 in overpower. So you're down, right? You're behind on all those things. You have to be behind on 3 things: tokens, equipment, and so this card encourages you to use your equipment early. I think this format, and that was one of my mistakes that I had and learned by the end of the night, was use your equipment early in this set. It's better to use it to gain the agility token and gain tempo than the blade break block 1.
Right.
So, and then it triggers the fewer equipment for this card. And then you also need fewer health, which you probably are because you're behind. Or you can choose to be by taking, like, if you have this in your hand, just taking the damage and knowing you're going to slap back harder in 2 turns. So you have to have those 2 turns to be up. So you have to, it's tricky. It's a very fast format. But then it gets the yellow gives it +3 in overpower. So it's coming in for 7 overpower. And when this hits, create an agility, might, and vigor token. So you get a free go again, a free +1 to your next attack, and a free resource at the start of your next turn. That's tempo.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like, it's crazy.
That's wild.
I'm just searching through. Oh, and I also pulled a standing order, which seems fine. It can be a 0 for 6 if you pull a card out of your arsenal and put it on the bottom of your deck. Or it could be a block 5. So it's a very situational card. It costs 0, but it's red. That's majestic. Cut the deck also seems pretty good. It's hand correcting for warrior in attack reaction. It gives you just that little bit of extra plus. The new attack reaction that I think gets played the most is agile engagement, Costs 1 like most, but only blocks 2, so you know it's going to be a powerful effect. Target warrior attack, so it doesn't have to be a weapon, gets +2 if it's defended by an attack action card, just like Centauri Sabers. Create an agility token. So not only are you then getting over the top and dealing the damage, but you're setting up your next turn for a free go again. Goblet of Bloodwine also seems good. I wish it blocked 3. Cost 0 blue, create an agility and vigor token, go again. So kind of a setup card. Good turn 0 card. What else? Oh yeah, Agile Windup, that's it. It costs 3, swings for 7, blocks 2, but at instant discard this, create an agility token. So if you get this turn 1, you just start turn 2 with an agility token. I pulled off a Slap Happy, which was pretty fun. The next time you would be dealt damage, this turn prevent 2 of that damage if you do create a Vigor token. There's the Vigorous Engagement, which is the same as the Agile, but creates a Vigor token. Not that much a fan of that. It'll also be interesting. I want this card to work, but I don't think it will, just because it's a 2 for 5, and it seems bad. But yeah, it's a bad card that I want to be better. If it was a 6 or something, because if you've drawn a card this turn, it gets go again.
Wait, so if KO plays it?
Yeah, it is a Brute Warrior.
So it's for KO.
Yeah.
Because that's a 6, and that's what you said you wanted it to be good.
Yeah. The introduction of blocks is also really interesting in the format. In limited,
how does those play out?
Yeah,
so they seem like a waste of a slot, but
it's
you gotta play it to understand it.
I think it's more of a sealed than like. It's a red block 3. When this defends, if you control a Vigor token, gain 1 health. So it seems like a very limited thing.
Yeah.
Another like not bomb, but just generic if you're looking to fill out the rest of the spots in your deck. Performance bonus. When this hits, it costs 0, swings for 3. When this hits, create a gold token. So they really don't want to block this 3 because it's just 3 compared to all the other big hits. But if it was played from Arsenal, it gets go again. And then Starting Stake was also a fun card. I did start a game playing Starting Stake. That was the game. That was the turn I played got the Agile Windup and got the instant agility token. My action was Starting Stake, which is if you control no gold tokens, create a gold token. So I started the turn by started the game by setting up a gold token and agility token for the second turn. So I could pitch 2 to draw a card. So pitched a blue, then gained a resource essentially, and then had go again. So
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. But my cards just weren't like compared to the amount of the first game I played another Kasai, and they had 2 or 3 red draw swords, and just bonker cards. And then I got the buy, and then I played Betsy. No, Betsy was my last game. I won the Betsy. I lost to. I forget. It may have been another Betsy. But being able to give things overpowers Betsy is also pretty good. Betsy seems like the next Bravo.
Yeah, toned down a little bit, or toned down. I think
toned down and automatically toned down by not having access to the Bravo specializations.
Which, are a little over the top at this stage. Yeah. And it seems like over this past year, they've really done a good job of bringing the power level back down after the madness of the COVID sets, Tails and Everfest, etc. So I wonder if we're now at like the new baseline. From here, it builds back up.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, this is very much like a back to basics, welcome to Wraith kind of set.
Yeah, it
So
feels like this is your intro set, and I'm hearing that new players are coming in to try it out and love it.
this is
So
a great set for new players.
yeah, that's good. It answers a lot of the things we've been talking about for
Yeah.
a year. It's like, how do you get players to come in and play, because it's too complex, it's too hard to grasp, it's
Sets like
too hard
this.
to overcome really good players, and it's like, drafting this is probably the answer.
I think, yeah. Drafting might be more experience friendly, player friendly. That you might see more of it. I don't know. I could see newer players getting walloped in draft.
Okay,
I think they
I
have a
just
better
figured they have
chance.
a better chance than CC.
Yes, yeah, but I think they would have a better chance in sealed than draft when it comes to limited.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate, because no one's going to play sealed
I know. But new players can buy 6 packs, and two new players can buy 6 packs or buy a box and play 2 sets of sealed, like at the kitchen table kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like this is a great kitchen table. Like that's how we
grab a
learn.
box, play at home.
That's how we
That's
learned
fair.
when we
That's
first
true.
started playing.
That's
We
true. Yeah,
grabbed a
yeah.
box and built decks.
You don't want to walk in and embarrass yourself. You want to
Right.
know at least the basic
Right.
rules or have a good sense of them.
And I think most card players do that. I don't think most card players are like, I don't know. We have had new players walk in and be like, I have no idea about anything how to play this game. But that is
teach me
far
the
from the
game.
norm. Typically, when new players come in, they have played kitchen table.
Got
And
it.
then they
makes
have,
sense. That
but
makes
then they,
or like the little blitz starter
Yep.
precons. Like that's an
Yep.
easy way. I think
that's another way
that's how
they
we
were
started.
they would play kitchen table. Those are the first games we played. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, I couldn't remember. There's no Prism was involved, and it was very confusing.
Yeah, it was the Monarch Blitz decks right before Tails came out.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was. Yeah, it was right before Tails came out, because I took the Blitz decks with me and played with my dad in the hotel room.
Yep.
Yeah. And he played Bolton.
Yep.
That's right. That is the beginning of it, isn't it?
Yep.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, super happy with the set. My game plan for cards is to hold off about a month, see where prices are at, pick up Kasai cards. I don't plan on really cracking stuff. I don't know. We'll see. As of right now, I don't plan on cracking anything.
You hear the hesitation that's grown in his voice out there? Everyone hear that?
Well,
it went
no.
from I'm definitely not buying boxes this time to slowly he's cracking.
Well, no. If prices drop,
they will. They always do after release.
Right.
So yes,
it's how far they
you
drop.
might be convinced. Yeah, you might be convinced to put some money on a box.
Because what are like Bright Lights is a bad example. Let's look at Outsiders. What's Outsiders at now a box? I think that's the best.
Hold on a second.
I think that's the best comparison.
64.
Yeah. Okay. So when they get
or
to
at least my last update, I don't know.
Currently at 62, 64.
Yeah.
If they get down in the 60s, yeah, I might go a little crazy. But we'll see.
Yeah. So tell me about your bulk. Speaking of cracking boxes and the downside of cracking too many boxes.
Yeah, so this has been my way of telling myself I don't need to crack boxes. Is sorting bulk. It's a very great way to get yourself to not crack boxes, which I may or may not crack a box of Pokemon this week, or maybe later today. If you want to film another video, we'll see. Side tangent before we get into the bulk, just something real quick. I think last week on the podcast I was talking about those TikTok deals. I did it. I got a I don't want to misquote, but I got a booster box of Paldea Evolved for under $90 after tax.
And it's in your house?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's the one thing I always worry about with something so, unstructured. Like, is this just a scam?
Right. And so I, let's see. What is it? I picked a store that didn't have the lowest price, but had like 5,000 reviews and like 4.9 positive or 4.9 stars. And then there's a subreddit called, I think it's like Pokemon TikTok deals.
Oh, nice. So you have
And
some guidance out
yeah,
there.
of other
Nice,
people
nice,
that
nice.
have ordered from those people.
Yeah. Good.
And they
Okay,
have a
that's cool.
list. They have a list of like confirmed good sellers.
Got it.
And the only reason I was interested in this was because at you can get $20 off up to yeah. So no, it was under 80. So before tax, it was $79.94, and then my total sales tax was $662. So it was $86.56 total. Because it was $99.94 for the box, and then minus 20 plus the tax. So under a $90 booster box right now.
Yeah, that's
pretty crazy.
That's a win. Yeah.
Because that's after tax, after shipping.
This is Paldea Evolved, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't Pokemon come up with booster boxes first? Because no one buys it that way, which is really
Everyone buys
frustrating.
it that way.
I mean, they should, but not on TCG Player. Apparently, buy the pack is more popular.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so it's going for
code card. No, not code card.
So a Paldea booster box right now is going for 83 plus
Yes.
plus $15 shipping.
Oh yeah. I see. Yep.
Yeah. So that's
shipping, taxes, etc.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And
that's
so
the latest, right?
No.
That's a
That
couple
was the
back.
second set. That was the.
Did they do it? They're doing another one or something. Am I confusing this? I don't keep a close eye on.
They
Pokemon.
have Paldean Fates that just came out this week.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
because
I'm not just insane because I'm like, wait.
the island that this Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet takes place on is called Paldea.
Right.
And so this was Paldea Evolved, and then they have a shiny set usually every block of sets, era of sets, and this one is Paldean Fates instead of shiny Fates, like they did for Sword and Shield. But that one only comes. The biggest product is a ETB. So.
Right. Oh, it's one of their weird sets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's even more why I didn't know it exactly because I really don't pay attention to that side of it.
You asked me, and I was like, no, it's one of those special ones, and you were like, oh yeah, screw that.
Okay, got it. Yeah, screw that. I'm sure they're good, but I don't care.
I mean, my Crown Zenith Pokemon Center ETBs are doing pretty okay.
Yeah.
Even though the regular booster box is like $35 or whatever. It's insane the difference in price between the Pokemon Center Elite ones. Yeah. I don't understand. It's like an additional pack or two.
In Pokemon's goofy right now.
It's very.
Anyways, bulk.
Yeah, bulk. Yeah, so I started by sorting Pokemon. I sorted a lot of modern Pokemon, and then basically you can tell what cards are playable because they don't cost 1 or 2 cents.
Right, that makes sense.
Which is kind of pretty interesting. And there's a decent amount of like common trainer cards that are $1 or $2, which I mean adds to the box. But I feel like Pokemon is Sword and Shield was very spiky. It's either you made your money back, you broke even, or you pulled one card that's worth 4 times the box, or you pulled a $30 card, and that was it.
Right.
Maybe. Or a $20 card. With this new Scarlet and Violet era, you get a lot of 5, 10, 15, 20.
So it's just spread out.
It's just more spread out, which I think it's a lot safer to open boxes, I think.
I was going to say, did you open some?
I have not. The only Scarlet and Violet that I've opened is that 151 that we did earlier.
Got it.
Which I also used the TikTok deal on to get those because they usually sell for like the MSRP is 120. They usually sell for around 100. I ended up getting it for like under 70 shipped, like almost 70. which was awesome. But I probably will open up that Paldean booster box just to see what it's like. Because I already have a case of Paldea Evolved sealed. That's sitting on the shelf. But the bulk, finding those trainer cards, and it really does add up, surprisingly. And then the other thing that really holds value is the reverse hollows, and sometimes the reverse hollows are worth more than the full hollows when it comes to bulk rares.
Oh, that scares me. Okay.
Because
that's how I always screw things up and end up with sending the wrong one, you know?
Yeah. So reverse hollow is the one that has the pattern.
I have
shiny.
to look it up every time.
And then the full hollow is where the art behind the Pokemon is shiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still have to look it up every time. Sometimes the apps recognize it though.
Interesting.
They actually see the hollowing and identify it. I was shocked about that.
So I'm not scanning.
What?
Basically it gives you a sheet, and I sort them I sort them by set, and then alphabetically, and then I put them in the box alphabetically. Gotcha. Just because it's easy. I find it's much easier to find something because then I only need to know what set it is and the name of the card.
Gotcha.
Opposed to, because Pokemon's very weird with its numbering. Magic is a lot easier because it is in alphabetical by color.
Yeah, by color, yeah.
But I even then, with Magic, just did it alphabetically. So if I'm looking for a card, I can go find it.
Interesting.
Because when you're in the collection, like when I'm putting it into the collection, it doesn't go by number. It goes alphabetically.
It just goes by alpha. Yeah. Well, I think I said that when we were at one of the, I think it was a Pro Tour. I was trying to eyeball how they had their whole giant wall of singles.
Yep.
And I think I called that out to you. I was like, oh, they just do straight alpha.
Yeah.
They just alphabetically.
So that's how
not even set. But the problem with that, with Magic, you can't do, I've found, is because
once it gets too big,
you have too many of the same thing.
Yep.
Cultivate. There's 400 cultivates. Like,
same
you
with
cannot
Pokemon.
Do that.
There's 400 Pikachus.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. So you have to have the set breakup too.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Interesting.
And then it also, I don't really go back to old sets to open. And so once I open a booster box or so, like when it comes to Pokemon, I really only open a booster box with something. With Flesh and Blood, that's a different story up until now. But Flesh and Blood I have organized differently and more from a player organizational way, by like class and then by set. Mm-hmm. So like all the warrior stuff are together, all of the, like by class, all the classes are together, and then they're divided by what set.
Yeah, that seems like the smart way for that, because you're going to pull based on class.
Yeah. So I can basically just go grab the warrior box when I'm building a warrior deck.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
I don't know. We were talking about your bulks sorting, and that.
Yeah.
You had a main point to this, a main drive you started us off with in the beginning. I don't remember what it was though.
The main drive is to see how many cards are in my house. I want that number.
Oh Lord! So there will be a task. Why would you put yourself through that torture?
There will be an update every week until I'm done. Whether it's I have made no progress or whether I have made some progress.
I literally could never tell you that number.
Right.
It's constantly fluctuating at a pretty
For you, it's pace. Impossible. For you, it's impossible. But I'm holding myself back from really opening anything.
Until you know how much you have.
Until I know how much I have.
Wow. That is a very... That's a...
also, as we...
A brave goal.
Also, Paldean Fates moves because I just refreshed the page by signing in to pull up my collection number, and it already sold at that price, and now is at $90 plus $8 shipping, which is about the same.
But yeah, that happens.
Let me
especially in Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing the market update because it's too much of a pain in the butt.
It's crazy, yeah. Yeah, so I'm almost at 5,000 cards so far. Logged in here. The minimum is only like 568.49, and then the average is 1,237. So I'm curious, like, how they define min and average.
Hmm.
Because right now I'm strictly going by min for
Yeah.
value. Because that's
Oh,
probably closer to what it would be.
it's probably not very realistic. Most stuff's also light played on TCG Player.
Yeah.
Like people.
There's no condition in this. You
Oh, I
don't put
thought
in
you
the
were saying
condition.
mint.
No.
Oh, what did you just say then?
Min, like
Oh,
minimum,
by min. Oh, gotcha.
and then average and high.
Okay, so
So
that
I'm
takes
thinking it's probably something between min and average is the true number.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to think about it.
Yeah.
Because what you end up seeing on sales is volume moves in that range. So
Right.
yeah, that's fair.
So what I've been doing, because it has 3 columns that you can sort your cards by: the cards that you have, cards that you want, and cards that are up for trade. So eventually I want to get this to a point where when we have, because I have a lot of Flesh and Blood bulk. So when we have new players come in, I want to be able to send them a link and be like, hey, are there any commons, rares, like bulk kind of stuff that you need? I'd be happy to give it to you. So that I can send them a link and they can look through and see what's available. Yeah. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
If someone asked me, I'd be like, maybe, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I got stuff.
Probably exists.
Yeah.
Somewhere in my house.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I don't know. It's also been a very stressful work week, like I said at the beginning, and it's been very just soothing to just sort and then watch the numbers go higher in the collection, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I know that feel.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's been fun, and then talking about sorting Magic bulk. It's crazy. Like there's I was really surprised. There was a Baldur's Gate common. Demise or something. It's like a $2 common.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling you.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah. There are commons and uncommons that are couple dollar cards. Yeah, I mean it's singles are crazy right now for Magic.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you have that bulk, I'm definitely gonna steal it from you. If you're
it's alpha organized for you.
I mean, that actually isn't the way I organize it. Is it by color at least?
I mean, you could just.
Okay, yeah, it'll be a pain in the butt. It's fine.
No, it wouldn't be.
It
wouldn't be a pain in the butt. Because then you just go through the set, you siphon off into colors, and then it's color alphabet.
I was about to say, it really won't be a problem because, like, I sort like 30 sets that are squished together. Color is the only thing it's sorted by.
Oh.
So it's, I do crazy sorting, so that will be fine. But it is definitely a different way. It is a different way.
Right now, I'm working on Phyrexia right now. I have Baldur's Gate and most of my Lord of the Rings sorted. I found another pocket of Lord of the Rings in one of my bulk boxes. Because I have when I was just like cleaning up the shelf in my room, I was like, all right, this is a Magic card, it goes in the Magic box. This is a Pokemon card, it goes in the Pokemon box. So that's what I'm doing.
Cards tucked in every corner of your house.
Yeah. Basically, it's getting there. I mean, we did have to move the comic books down to the basement for a reason.
Oh my god, it's crazy fun.
But I don't think, the sad part is going to be going through the MetaZoo and how much MetaZoo I have.
The Wall of Shame.
The Wall of Shame and the single box of shame. That's all set organized.
Yeah.
Already. I have a 5,000 card box. 2 5,000 card boxes.
Of MetaZoo?
4,000, sorry. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I didn't know you opened that much.
Oh yeah. We open a lot. Go look at our opening videos. Way back in the day.
I only have 2,000 cards. Unless I have some stash somewhere I don't remember.
I don't think you opened as much as I did.
I was just saying, I don't think I opened.
You got more sealed than I did.
I definitely did that, and I sold most of that already, thankfully. But
mine is rotting in my closet.
Yeah.
Maybe one day it'll be worth $5.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not
No.
gonna be, man. We're past the point where it comes back,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I could be wrong, but
Although the beta for the game, I have seen gameplay. It does exist.
well, maybe that causes a new spike. Sell into that.
That's
Like,
what I'm waiting for
yeah,
to see what
yeah.
that happens.
That's fair.
I doubt it, but
Me too.
it's funny. In some of Rudy's recent videos, he's offered to just buy the company. He's like, "Can I buy it? Can I just buy it?" Medicine. But yeah, that's a sad story.
It's what it is.
But I don't know. I like that I can. It's like all games. Like all games are on here.
That's cool. But yeah, you told me about this collector thing. I did not realize how it worked. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have their settings so that you can make your lists public, and then it gives you a URL so you can share your haves, wants, trades. I don't put anything in my wants and trades. I just have the haves, and I have it public, and then I can post the link. And then supposedly, if I wanted to, I can export the list and then upload it to a store if I ever wanted to do that. So I can like export it and have it
Ready to roll.
Which would be cool. But don't have the time for that right now. But yeah, it was interesting. I may crack some Kamigawa. I'm not sure. Once I get everything sorted. That seems like a good set to crack right now. Especially with how cheap we bought the boxes.
I don't even remember. How cheap did we buy them, if you can say?
I think our average cost was around 63, 64.
This draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good crack then. 143 is what Mox has.
Yeah. Because I have like a case, I have a sealed case and then like a half a case. Or 4 boxes. 3 or 4 boxes.
Not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm enjoying the Magic market the way it's playing out. Singles are definitely possible to sell.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely
finding these little pockets of inactivity that because of the inactivity, the prices have kind of popped up on like either certain cards within it or several cards in it or a bunch of different things in it. And so it's like, oh, this set that's like was poo-pooed on is now completely sold out because not enough people opened it, you know?
Yep.
So the cards are like really very reasonably priced for a seller.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I can actually make money doing this labor.
So my brain went on all these different adventures while I was sorting cards. And the one really was just realizing how much of a powerhouse Magic is when it comes to a player base. Like you can go to any store and find a Magic game.
Yeah. You can always find a Magic game, at least in the US regarding gaming. And I assume that's true in other places because I feel like Flesh and Blood found roots in a lot of countries, right?
Yes.
And therefore there must have been a foundational come to this game store and play games, right?
Yes.
Which, what are you playing? It's got to be Magic.
Right.
So.
Right. And my hope is, and we have seen it, like this past US regionals that just happened for Pokemon had the largest attendance ever. There are more people playing Pokemon than ever.
Yeah, than the history of the entire game. That's not a hard bar to beat, though.
I know, but it says something.
But that's still pretty good. It says something
that like this COVID boom in attention to Pokemon cards converted to players.
Yep, it made real people want to play together in groups.
Correct.
Yep.
And I'm seeing more and more of it, and I'm hearing more and more of it. And then you have what John and I talked a little bit about before we hit record. That I think the big difference is that Magic players need more cards for their decks because they usually play more than one format. And so there is a demand for more cards in different situations. Whereas Pokemon, really, there's only Standard and Expanded. Standard has a rotation, just like Magic. and then extended is everything else. Has a separate ban list, but there is a new format that's been building that I think I've talked about a couple of times that I actually saw a local store is hosting an event for, and I'm really tempted to maybe do it. Is Gym Leader Challenge, and it's the one where you pick a type and you are the gym leader of that type, and you cannot play Pokemon with rule boxes, and so it is a single prize format, which means the games will go a little bit longer because you're only taking one prize at a time, not two and three. And with the growth of that format, I bet you see a lot of these $2 cards start popping up to be those $2 cards that you see in Magic Bulk.
Yeah, I could see it. It's definitely what's happened in Magic. Like the player base grew, people got interested, a lot of new players,
different formats.
It's yeah, exactly. It's just you're seeing it cycle through the old stuff again. You know.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, isn't it? This like I think for us, this is our first roundabout on this sort of rodeo of card.
Yeah, since coming back, I feel like we've gone through a cycle now.
Full cycle, right? Didn't it feel like it? Yeah.
Like we're in a different era of Pokemon. We're in a different era of Magic. We're in a different era of Flesh and Blood. It is all three games have significantly changed since we've started playing again.
Yeah, 100%. Good times. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm thoroughly enjoying where things are at right now. I'm still playing Pokemon TCG Live every day. New Battle Pass just started for Paldea and Fates. Was able to get the premium Battle Pass this time for free just by playing last month. So I started level 15, gave me a ton of packs, and then almost in that level 15 gave me enough gems to make up the difference between the premium and the standard Battle Pass, which was kind of crazy. So basically, if you're able to store up, I think it was either 16 or 1800 gems, which isn't hard to do if you play every day because you get 60 gems a day minimum. You just get the Battle Pass for free. And it gives you a ton of playable cards. Like on the Battle Pass, it like knows what the playable cards are. So it's just like, here's some fancy version of the playable cards. So you have like a blinged out deck, and it's super neat. And I did notice the other thing I wanted to touch on with Pokemon Bulk was the reverse holofoils, in that they tend to be like 10 to 15 cents each, opposed to the 1 to 2 versions of its regular version. Just because I think set collectors are a really big part of the Pokemon hobby. And
of course,
tracking down all the reverse holos is almost harder than the major pools.
It's the thing. Yeah. I get it. I get that. That I understand.
Because you need the regular, the reverse, the full. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but now and I think that was more, I was sorting a lot of, obviously, because I haven't opened a lot of Scarlet Violet, I was sorting a lot of Sword and Shield, and those only had one reverse holo slot. The Scarlet Violet has 2. So it'll be interesting to see when I open that Paldean Evolve box and there's 2 reverse holo slots, what the difference is. Because obviously there's going to be more out there because there's 2 per pack.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting stuff. I will keep you guys updated with my journeys next week and see if I think, I'll definitely be above 5,000 because I almost have. So basically what I do is I sort by color. I find all the cards for the set. I sort by color. This is for Magic. Sort by color, then sort alphabetically by color. And to do that, there's a step in between where, because usually each color spans upon like 40, there's about 40 cards per set, depending on the size of the set. And so I have like the 0 through 9, then 10 through 19, then 20 through 29, and then 30 through 39 essentially. So there's 4 piles, and then it's a lot easier to sort those alphabetically, and then you just stack them on top of each other, opposed to sorting the whole thing the whole color alphabetically. It's much faster. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's everyone has their way.
Yeah. I just, as I'm doing this, I'm getting faster and faster at it. And I'm just
Yeah.
like trying to figure out how to get this done as quickly as possible.
Well,
But
good luck, because
thank you.
5,000 is just the beginning. I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I've seen the boxes in your house. I know that's just the beginning. I was wondering where you were with it, but I'm like, no, that's not even close. That's
No,
like
that's
you've
one
made an inch of
5,000 card
progress.
box.
I know, that sounds like 5,000. That's nothing.
No,
You're in trouble, sir.
okay, predict your prediction, and then I'll give you
I
my
couldn't.
number.
I'd have to walk through your house once just to
No,
look.
just throw out a number. Just throw out
I
a
don't
number.
know. It's a lot though, dude. It's a lot.
I
How
won't
big? How many are in the plastic ones?
4,000.
And you have stacks of those, right? You have like
I
two
think I have
stacks of
about
4.
eight, but they're
Yeah, yeah.
not full. They're not all
Okay,
full.
it was still so. There's 4,000 each of those. You have 8 of those, dude. You have a lot
And then
of
I have like
cards.
5 or 6 of the 5 slot for Flesh and Blood.
I don't know, man. Call it.
So that's really the big reason why I don't want to rip heavy hitters. It's not that it's a bad set. It has nothing to do with the set. It's just that I don't want any more Flesh and Blood bulk, and I know I'm going to be drafting this a lot. So
You're gonna have plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's, I don't know, man. It's got to be at least 50,000 cards would be my guess, but it's
Yeah.
hard to say. It's hard to say
Yeah,
because I have
I think that's
10K
probably about
in
accurate.
the shop now, and
Yeah.
that is rather small space wise. Like I'm looking at it,
Mhm.
and I know how many boxes of shit you have. Like if you're counting everything in the boxes still, like,
Nothing sealed.
oh, you're not counting that as
No.
part of the number of cards in your house? They
No,
have
no.
cards in your house, Tommy. They count.
Single cards. How many single
Oh,
cards?
well, I'd have to go see. I don't know all your
Yeah.
card sets. You've only ever showed it to me like piecemeal.
Yeah.
I know I've seen your sealed stuff though. So
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of sealed
What
stuff.
if I included that, then I'd have to rip open all of my sealed stuff.
Well, you didn't have to. It's just you can literally know how many are per box, right? They tell you how many's in a pack, how many packs a box. You just do the
Oh, well,
math,
sure. And then but
and then you can count that up.
yeah. That's fair. I could do that.
That was what I was assuming. You said,
No.
how many cards do I have in my house? I'm counting cards that are in boxes.
Yeah, I'm not.
that are
I'm
in
not
your house.
Which is, I don't know if it's better or worse.
That would be a lot. That's why I'm like, I don't know, man. That's a big number.
Yeah.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the higher the number goes, the more I'm like, I don't need to open anything.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars Unlimited is going to come out next month.
Oh, you're so screwed. You're so screwed.
Yeah.
Are you still planning on playing it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You're going live.
I signed up for pre-release.
Oh my God, you're in such trouble, dude.
I signed up for pre-release. March 3rd at Red Caps, Sunday.
Nice.
You should come.
I don't know. Maybe not. I'm trying not to buy more cards, dude. I got enough cards.
You're not. You're just playing a pre-release.
Yeah, it's still more cards.
We were just talking about driving down to Georgia to buy how many cards?
Yeah, it was a lot of cards. That's the only reason why, because it's like, I don't know. It's because I'm insane, is what it boils down to.
Well, come.
It's
and I'll pay you $20 for your cards.
This is okay.
So you pay $10 for the experiments, and I'll take the cards.
That's fair. That's fine. I would do something like that because, I literally a new game. I can't scan it. I can't sell it. You know what I mean? Like, such a hard thing to justify.
Yeah, I'll pay for your ticket, and then you just play, and then I'll take your cards when you're done.
That's fine. I've been dumping everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So you can put new stuff in there.
Not Star Wars, though. I'm not starting a new game.
Star Wars Unlimited is going to be in the collection tracker, though, which is very exciting.
That's cool. Yeah, I actually saw it already on the shop side.
Yeah.
So it is there. You were saying that last week, and I hadn't seen it yet, but it did pop up in that time frame.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it should be interesting. What I'm really also curious about is when I think after this Phyrexia that I'm sorting, I'm going to go back to my childhood Pokemon, and I'm really interested to see what that is bulk-wise.
Oh, I bet that will be... Actually, it's hard to say. If it's following Magic, then it won't be as good, because the old stuff isn't working right now. It's not really selling that much. The newer stuff and the kind of our time frame stuff is selling.
Right. I mean, I have
Right.
I have some fancy stuff. Like I have base set, not first edition, but base set foils like
I'm just
Alakazam
saying,
and
I have the
Arcanine.
feeling the people that buy that stuff are busy in other markets right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think the market right now in Pokemon is sword where the most money in the market is going right now for Pokemon is Sword and Shield booster boxes because they're still under MSRP,
Yeah.
but they're no longer the 80-90 like they were a year or two ago when we were picking them up.
Yeah.
And so what I'm doing is just following the trend of what's the $80-90 box. And then I just buy that.
Whatever it
And then
is, I'm
everyone's
fine.
worried about like, oh well, I need to have this for my collection, and I need to have this for my collection. Like sealed, I don't understand that. Like having making sure you have one of everything,
Yeah.
but
People want a complete list, man.
lists
Did
of
you
sealed
watch
product.
the Yes, dude, it's a thing.
Oh,
Did you
I
watch
know it's a
the
thing. I just don't agree with it.
I agree. I don't agree with it either, but it is a thing.
Yeah,
Did you watch the Netflix movie on uh Beanie Babies? You
I
gotta
think I
watch
might
it.
have.
You gotta. If you haven't watched it, you gotta watch it. It was funny for one, but one of the things they did that like made it blow up is they released a little checklist with
Yeah,
the
yeah. Pokemon does that too.
and
In
it
ETBs, every
and
ETB
it
has a
went
checklist.
insane when the
Yeah,
checklist got added. That's when it blew up and became the Beanie Bane like Baby
yeah,
Mania,
yeah,
a freaking checklist.
yeah. It's funny on the subreddit Poke Investing. People just show their collections like I have one of every ETB, and I'm just like, oh no, why? That's so
Just in
much
case.
space,
Yeah. Well, ETBs are what they like and can afford.
and they're pretty, but they're
They are
just
pretty.
it's just space wise because you see
Yeah.
them in these like the background's an apartment picture, and you're just like, you what? Oh boy.
Yep.
But I guess you have to like work up to it, and I guess looking back on it now, like I won't flinch just being like, oh yeah, I buy a booster box case. I buy it by the case because you get the best deal. And
Yep.
then, but looking back on it, when I first started getting back into the hobby, I was like, buying a case? Are you crazy? No. So you just have to like numb yourself to it, I guess.
That's what happens. You get used to something.
Yeah. It is funny though. Like I got the Paradox Rift one. I still haven't seen it that low again, 489. But I don't know. It'll be. I think it's taking a turn. Modern sealed because it got pushed real low, and with the MSRP increase, so I think stores are just really dumping it, which is crazy, and I don't understand why. And I think it's rubber banding back quicker than Sword and Shield did.
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. The market's
Sure,
going to
of
be crazy
course.
this
And
year.
they're
It's going to be fun. I
every
can't wait.
every Sword and Shield set, every Scarlet and Violet set is still within the 2 year window, so it's still all playable. It's still all able to be reprinted.
Oh yeah.
But
Are
I
they going to
think
do reprints?
I think
What do you think?
stores will. Yes, I think they'll do reprints, guaranteed. But I don't think stores will continue to dump it, and I don't think stores will order as much. And then when stores stop ordering as much, Pokemon will cut print runs, and there will be a set that spikes and scares everyone and just disappears really quickly. But then will be reprinted in like a year. So
Well, that is what
I
happens.
think Pokemon is just very good because they do watch the secondary market of sealed, and when things get too bad, they push back with something that causes a ripple effect, and for the other stuff to sell.
Yeah.
But
Psychology of markets.
yeah, it's an interesting thing, and I'm really happy. I think Magic's made a turn. I think Pokemon's made a turn. Flesh and Blood has made a turn. All three of our games are making turns for the positive. Um, and I don't know, it's an exciting time right now. 2024 is going to be a good year.
It's going to be an interesting year. I don't know if it'll be good or bad.
Really?
I think right now it's good. I think we're on the right track, but there's so many things in the macroeconomic environment that scare me that I'm worried it's going to impact that. You know what I mean? And
Fair.
cards can't hold up against a recession.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like yeah. So that's where I have concern for. I don't know what this year will look like. If this year ends up going into recessionary territory, then maybe this entire narrative is twisted and wrong. You know,
but
I like where you are with this. You know, as of now, as of current setting.
Yes.
I agree, and I think things are heading in the right direction.
Because it is, I mean, not to get political, but it is a election year.
Election year, yeah.
And so they want the numbers to be
impacts.
good. So hopefully the numbers stay good this year, and then maybe next year things get rough, but we'll see after the election.
Yeah, we'll see. And as far as the general markets go, though, it definitely seems player driven on every set, on everything, every game, right? Every game, even Pokemon, the one that never did that.
Yep. Oh, I found something out. Professional players do play with bling, and they play with multiple versions of the bling. And so that because you are constantly picking up your deck and searching through it, because every other card is a fetch card in Pokemon. And they use that to be able to quickly identify the cards. So when they're because there's time limits on, and it's best of 3. So when you're searching, you really got to be quick.
Okay.
And so when you're searching through your deck, you find those. It's much easier to see those full art than the non-full art.
That's interesting. I've never even considered something like that.
I've been listening to a couple of Pokemon podcasts that focus around competitive play, because I've really gotten into the competitive ladder on Pokemon Live. And it doesn't really matter on Live because you can search so quickly.
Yeah, it's auto search or whatever,
but even then, it helps me find the cards quicker, seeing the full art. But,
oh Lord, there you go. Yeah. Back into an online game.
And I'm gonna have to keep up with 3 games. And Magic has been itching at me because I've been sorting the bulk.
Oh man,
I have not.
Some fun times to be had over there.
I'll play with you, but I'm not gonna play on Arena again, I don't think.
No. I'm not doing Arena again either. But we could set up a day, or you come to a Magic day or something. I don't know how often they do these things. I'm sure they wouldn't mind having you guys.
Yeah. I'll bring something.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Bring my Warhammer deck.
Yeah.
That deck's fun.
Yeah. I'm sure people would do a quad with you. You bring all the decks, everyone sit down with one. Yeah. People would be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do that.
Yeah. I gotta crack the other 2 then.
Oh, you never did?
No.
I never heard. I knew there was some talk and intention, but so you never did?
No. I think honestly, the singles go for more. So I don't think it's not a mystery of what's in there.
Yes, that's not a surprise.
And it sells more as singles than it does as a complete set.
That's actually been happening with a lot of Commander products these days.
Yeah, and that's why when I was sorting Baldur's Gate, I was like, oh, Baldur's Gate's a thing.
Baldur's Gate Commander is very much a thing.
Maybe because they put a bunch of Commander cards in it, and Commander is the #1 format. So when you put a bunch of cards that are playable in the #1 format, the cards will move.
Cracking Commander, boxes and selling the singles is a high margin play.
Yeah,
it's crazy that's a thing, but it's a thing.
Yeah, I think I have a couple more.
For those who have
made it all the way to the
long,
end.
you just got a very good financial tip, not financial advice, just some entertainment from us.
Baldur's Gate.
Hashtag Baldur's Gate.
I wonder if
conspiracy.
Yeah.
The Baldur's Gate conspiracy.
Yeah, I feel like. So remember, I don't want to go on too much of a more tangent because I know we've been talking for a while. But the logic I had when I went on that binge of just buying a bunch of draft boxes was that people will want to draft things in the future. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much of a thing that is.
The problem may be that draft dies with standard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because standard is what pushed that format, and people that don't feel comfortable in that format aren't going to do it at their kitchen table.
And there's a lot more people that are comfortable with Commander than draft.
Right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that can
And then you have to
change.
know the draft format too.
Yeah, that's true. There is a little bit of that. I mean, I guess
I mean,
yeah,
obviously, an
that's true.
experienced Magic player is going to do better in an unknown draft than
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
someone who's not. But if the someone who's not has drafted this set 3 or 4 times and the experienced player hasn't, I bet you it's a more even match.
Yeah. I also think there's a lot more room for gentle play or multi-skill play on non-draft, right? Because like you're saying, I basically am saying the same thing in a different way. Because in Commander, one thing it made me think of was that people would pull out decks to try to match what they were up against.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to trying to just be sure to win.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, these are some newer players. They just got their first deck, or
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a kid, you know.
And
But
hence
you watch
why I
them play.
said
Yeah,
Magic players have multiple decks.
yeah. It's true. It's
How
true.
many
It's just
Flesh and
I was
Blood
just
players have
thinking.
multiple decks?
I'm just thinking about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. I was just thinking about it like from a casual setting. It's a lot easier than draft to tune to the
Mhm.
crowd. You
Mhm.
know, so that's interesting. I never thought about that. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
It's a very good point, Tommy.
And you get bored of your deck and then you want to play a new one. Because there's no format rotation and there's so many cards in the pool already that you already have a plethora of things to choose from and try.
Yeah, that is one thing I find the most refreshing about Magic. There's always something to try.
Yeah.
Like even if
You
you've
haven't
tried
tried
it all,
everything.
there's something exactly. There's always something to try. It's
Yeah.
never ending, especially Commander, because Singleton Hunter card is like the number of ways you can make that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. So anyways, we've rambled a long time.
Yeah. Hashtag I made it if you made it to the end.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to ramble on or?
No. I think we've done a good job of rambling.
All right. Well, we'll see if I open that Paldea box or not. I may do it on stream. I may do it off. But we'll see. We'll see. It may just stay sealed. But until I get way more cards sorted, because that's also a problem. But cool. Well, until next week, we will catch you guys later.
Have a good one.